In this video, we'll go over some of the top 10 time-saving Tableau developer tips. We'll take a look at Tableau shortcuts, using folders for organizing fields and calcs, setting up default properties, and adding some labels. Hold down Ctrl on your keyboard and then left-click Category and left-click Sales. Let go of the Control button and you should see both fields still highlighted. Next, left-click on Show Me and choose Horizontal Bars. Our next time-saving tip is a shortcut for changing a worksheet on your dashboard. Let's duplicate the worksheet we just created. This time we'll drag subcategory to rows and color. Let's rename our worksheets. We'll name them Sales by Category and Sales by Subcategory. Create a dashboard tab. Drag a vertical container to the canvas. Drag Sales by Category into the vertical container. Left-click on the Sales by Category chart in the canvas. Hover over Sales by Subcategory. Left-click on the small curved arrow to switch out Sales by Category with Sales by Subcategory. Rename the Dashboard tab to Sample Dash. Next, we'll use folders to organize our raw data fields and calcs. Let's create a new sheet. For this next step, I'll demonstrate here that we can't add fields to a folder unless we click that setting first. After I highlighted all the fields, Folders is grayed out. Let's click on the small drop-down arrow, and then select Group by Folder. Hold down the Shift key, and left-click the first and last field in the list. Let go of the Shift key, right-click a field and create a folder. Name the folder and click OK. We'll add the rest of the fields to the folder. This time we'll drag and drop. Let's remove the groups, bins, sets, and calcs from the folder since we only want the raw data fields in this folder. I'll demonstrate that we won't be given the option to put these fields in a different folder. We'll need to create the new folder first by right-clicking on one of the fields. Let's click on Manufacturer, and then we'll choose Create Folder. We can call this Other. Now, we can drag and drop our sets, bins, and calcs into this new folder. For item number 4, we'll create a folder to organize our parameters. Left-click on one of the parameters and create a folder. We can name this Parameter Measures. Next, we'll drag and drop our other parameter into this new folder. For item number 5, let's look at how we can quickly filter our calcs from our dimensions and measures. This is really helpful if you have a lot of calculated fields in your dataset. For item number 6, let's look at how we can set up some default properties that can be used throughout the workbook. Let's add region to the view. You can see that currently, the default sort properties are Central, East, South, and West. Right-click Region in the Field panel, and go to Default Properties and click Sort, and we'll click Manual. Drag the West region in the Sort window to the top, and East underneath West. We'll now open a new sheet and add region to the view, and you can see that the default sort is now showing West, East, Central, and South. For item number 7, let's look at how we can set up a default property for number formatting. Let's look at what the current default properties are for sales. Double-click Sales to add it to the view. If we format sales in the marks card, it will only be set for this one sheet. Let's create a new sheet and add country region and sales to the sheet. What we'll see is that currently the default property for sales is basic number formatting without currency. We'll remove country region and add region to show another example of the current default properties. For this next step, let's create a new sheet. Drag region to the rows shelf. Right-click Sales in the field panel and select Default Properties. Choose Number Format and select Currency Custom. For this example, we'll change the decimal places to 0 and click OK. Double-click Sales to add to the view. You can see that the formatting is now set up to currency with 0 decimal places. Any new sheet we use with sales will show the new default currency formatting. For this next item, we'll take a look at Describe. If you happen to rename a field, but you can't remember what the original name was, you can click Describe to find that out. Let's rename Ship Mode to Save Field for later. Add the field to the rows shelf, and then we'll right-click the field in the field panel and click Describe to show the metadata. We'll now reset this field back to the original field name. Right-click the field in the field panel and select Rename. Click the curved arrow to reset back to the original field name and hit Enter. For item number 9, we'll look at a shortcut to see all alias names for a field. Right-click Second Class in the view and edit Alias. Sometimes, as developers, we can tend to forget that we have used an alias on a field name. Let's take a look at what aliases have been used for ship mode. The asterisk shows which dimension members have an alias. Click Clear Aliases to remove all aliases and reset back to the original dimension names. For the last item, we'll add a numeric label using 2 different methods. Let's go back to the sheet with ship mode in it, and double-click Sales to add it to the view. For the first method, we'll drag measure values into the table. You'll see that the sales label shows up in the header. Hit the Undo button and we'll go through the second method. For the second method, we'll double-click in the column shelf and type in the word sales inside quotes. Remove the extra field label by selecting Hide Field Labels for Columns. You'll see that we now have sales as a header label for the sales column.